So if you've been working with PHP for a while, you might have used PHP's sleep function in order to put some sort of delay in your scripts. So for instance, if we take this example, I have created this route in my Laravel application, and I have put a delay of 5 seconds using this sleep function, which is a native PHP function. And after that delay, it will just print this message. Now if I run this in my browser, and it will take 5 seconds before it will print that message, right? So this is fine, but let's imagine that you are using, or you have set up tests around this route. How does that look? So I have set up a test for this route. As you can see, I'm executing this test and I'm asserting, or I'm checking whether the status is 200 okay. Now if I run this test, as you can tell, it will take 5 seconds before the test will pass. Okay, and that's a problem because imagine you are using the sleep function at all over the places in your project. It will take forever to run your test based on the sleep that you have put in your project. So that's an issue, and to fix this, Laravel team has introduced a new sleep API, and let me show you how this works. So first of all, let me go back to my route, and we will use that sleep API. So for that, we will first import that API, illuminate, support, and sleep. Once that is imported, we need to replace this native sleep function with this sleep API. So for that, what we can do is we can use sleep and then use 4 5, and then we can specify the unit of time. In this case, we can use seconds. Okay, and we can now get rid of this, save it, and if I run the tests once again, as you can see, it will still take 5 seconds before the test pass. But let me go back to my test. But the magic lies in one of the methods of this sleep API, and which is fake. So I have already imported the sleep API, and now what we can do is sleep fake. Okay, so what this basically will do is it will fake the sleep, and our execution of that route will not stop. It will take all of this into account, and it will just fake the sleep, and our test will run instantaneously. So let's see it in action. So let me run the test once again. As you can see, the test runs instantaneously. We don't have the 5 seconds of delay, and that's pretty great because even though we have sleep in place in that particular code, the tests pass flawlessly. Okay, so this is particularly useful in my opinion. Now on top of this faking sleep, we have more things in this API, and we can assert few of the things. So for instance, we can assert sleep, and we have got this method called sleep times, assert sleep time. So we can specify how many times our code has slept. So in our case, it's one time only, so we can specify 1, and if we run this once again, it passed. So 1 test, 2 assertions, so both of these assertions have been passed. Now if I change this to 2, it will fail. As you can see, it will fail because our code has only slept for one time, but we are asserting for two, so that's why it failed. Now there is one more thing that we can assert is we can assert the sequence. Okay, so we can check whether we have the right correct number of sequence for this sleep. So we can pass this array into this method, and what we can basically do is we can just copy paste this over here and paste it, so we can assert this as well. So let us run this once again. As you can see, it passed because this is what we are using in our code. Now if I add it for one more time and if I run this, it will fail because our code only has sleep for one time in the code, but we are checking it for two sleeps over in this particular array. Now this will also check for the number of seconds that we have specified over here. So if I change this to 6, in that case as well it will fail because we are specifying 6, but in reality the code sleeps for only 5 seconds. And if I switch back to 5, our test will pass. One more thing that Sleep API provides us is to check whether our code never slept or there are no sleep in our code. So we can use sleep assert never slept. Okay, and this will fail for this particular scenario because our code has slept for one time, but it will expect 0. The assert never slept will expect 0. So in this case it will fail. But if I go back to my route and if I just comment it out, in this case we are not there is no sleep in our code, and so this particular test will pass. But for that I will need to remove the other two tests. Okay, so I will just comment it out, run it. Okay, so this time around it will pass because our code doesn't have any sleep specified. Now the same thing that you can do using another method called Insomniac. Okay, so this will also check for there is no sleep specified in our code. So if I run this once again, yeah, our test has passed. So this is all about this new Sleep API that Laravel 10.x has introduced. I hope you like this video, and if you do, consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.